today's conference is death. What is death? What dies and what doesn't? Okay, so the majority of people are scared about death. Why are we so scared about it? Because whatever it is unknown to us, it's something that makes us feel unsure. Okay, so we don't find an objective, a goal in death. Like, what is it for? Because we definitely don't understand what is death for. But actually, being born is to die, and to die is to be born. Okay, so we're going to see all the process of dying. How's the trial? What is the objective? Okay, so as we have in the picture, when a person dies, their soul comes out, right? That is here. And the person is tied to his physical body through the silver cord. Okay, so the person is connected to his physical body and to his astral body. What comes out is the astral body. That is the one that always comes out when we fall asleep. So when the person dies, he's still alive. He's still conscious of what's going on. Okay, so this death process lasts 72 hours. Okay, so clinically the person is dead. Okay, but if we remember tribes before, when they bury people, they used to wait 3 days, and then after those 3 days they would set them on fire. Okay, or they were ready to bury the person. Nowadays you just go to the hospital and they make an autopsy, they take out your things, so they kill us right away. If you have your grandparents, they will tell you that before, they used to, when they opened the coffins, they would find that the person was upside down or that it was scratched because the person came back from them. Okay, so the person is still connected to his silver cord. His astral body comes out and he's going to go through 3 judgments. Okay. What's going to happen during those 3 judgments? Okay, well, the first one is just going to take 5 minutes. Okay, as soon as he dies, he goes through the first judgment that is going to be 5 minutes. He's going to see his life like the video, okay? Like when we watch any video. Usually, you see it backwards, from the moment you die until you were born. Or you could see it from when you were born until you died, okay? What is it for? So that you could remember all your life, okay? Then, 24 hours later, we're going to have the second trial. Okay, what's going to happen in that second trial? Well, they're going to count and weight our ego. Okay, so what do you mean that they're going to count them? Well, we have different ways of being, right? For example, being late is a way of being. Eating your nails, being snotty, being rude, being lazy, being upset, crying. Okay, so we have those different ways of being. So they're going to count our ways of being. How many do we have? So we have a lot. So let's just say that they found like 500, okay? And they're going to weight each one of them. Why are they going to weight each one of them? Because each of us is different, okay? Some people are lazier than others, okay? So obviously their lazy eye is heavier, okay? Others love dancing. So they have an eye that loves dancing, obviously is heavier than another person who says, oh, music is not for me, I don't like it, you know, I don't have style, I have a left foot. Okay, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to count them and they're going to weight them. And then they're going to compare them. Compare them to what? To the last life you had before. So they compare them to see if you had become a better person, a worse person, if you became lazier or more joyful, nicer, meaner, okay, more egotistical, friendlier, okay. So they'll just compare it to the last life, okay. Then in the other 24 hours later, that would be 48 hours later, we're going to go to that third judgment. So here we're going to go to trial with Anubis, which that name must sound familiar to you from the Egyptians. So then we're going to have a trial with him. So what is he going to be seeing? He's going to see our good and bad deeds. That means the good things that we did and the bad things we did. Also, like before, they're going to count them. Okay, oh, so let's see this guy. How many good things did he do? Okay, oh great, he did a lot of good things. He did, let's say, 150 good things. How many bad things did he do? Oh, he did like 75 bad things. Okay, so what good things can be like counted? Okay, well, once I was walking and I helped a blind person cross the street. Well, that was very kind of you, so there you go, we count it as one, right? A bad thing, you know, I was late, I didn't have money, but I remember that my mom left her purse, so, you know, I only took out the money for the bus. Well, that's something bad you did. So there you go, you have something bad. So then they're going to weight them. What do you mean they're going to weight them? Because, okay, I did something good. I helped someone cross the street. That was very nice of you. But let's suppose that I did it because somebody who was with me, I liked that person, and you know, I just wanted that person to see good things about me, so that's why I helped him. So yes, you did something good, but how much does it really weigh? I mean, did you really do it from your heart? It was different if I had been alone, and it's because I really wanted to help that person cross the street that I did it. So that good deed that I did, it's heavier, okay? The same thing here with the bad one, okay? So it was an emergency, you didn't have nothing else to do, I mean, it was something wrong, but you didn't do it because you really wanted to be bad, okay? As it would be different that you took out money from that purse because you wanted to go to the cinema, for example. So definitely, I mean, I'm just stealing, okay? So that would make that eye weight much more. So that's why they count them to see how many you have, and that's why they weight them, okay? So they'll just check both things, okay? What else are they going to do? They will sum them, obviously, okay? And they will check the person's spinal cord. What for? Because they're going to check if the person worked with his sexual energy, okay? If the person has fire. So later on the conferences, we will talk about suprasex to awaken the Kundalini. So whoever worked on their Kundalini and they walked up that snake through their spinal cord, they will check how big is it, how long, okay? And according to that, like before, they are compared to the person's last life and see if the person worked more or less than their life before, okay? So from here, they're going to have to make a decision, obviously, okay? So, as you see, they always compare it with our last life. So, they're going to develop the next personality. Obviously, the person died, so they were born again. So when you're born again, they're going to develop your next personality. How are you going to be according to how you were in your past life? Okay, so for example, let's say that in this life you were extremely beautiful. Okay, you had a great body. You love fashion. I mean, everything that you put on just went with you. Then that's just great. But that made you be not a very nice person, someone who would always make fun of others, okay? And everybody who you thought was ugly, you would be always laughing at them. Oh, look at his nose or her nose. Look at their hair. Oh my God, oh no, he or she is bald. Oh, look how fat you are, and making people feel bad about themselves. Then, in your next personality, they're going to make you come, let's just say, not beautiful. Okay? What for? Because we come here to learn. Okay? So they will make you not beautiful so that in school you will go through the same thing that you made others feel. Okay? So then other people are going to be making fun of you. So that's why. Okay, so here they will also check according to the good and the bad things we did. They're going to make our karma. They're going to decide our karma. So according to how we behaved, they're going to see, okay, well, this person sold drugs, for example, you know, how many people did this person make other families cry? How miserable did you make them because of that? Okay, so they will send him sick, for example. Okay, let's say that the person was a conscious person, a person who had the ability to give this kind of knowledge to others. But the person was selfish, okay? He didn't want the others to open their eyes to awaken. So they say, okay, well, since you didn't help others to see, so your next life we're going to send you blind. Okay, so stuff like that, so you get the point, okay? So that's what they're going to do for our next personality. We have minimum of 108 lives where we come back and forth, right? We just keep coming and coming, living and dying, being born and dying, being born and dying. I say a minimum because let's say life 108 is your last life, but you did really good things, so you deserve another chance. You will get a life that's 109, okay? But let's say that the person doesn't deserve another life. So here, they will send the person to the infradimensions. Okay. Or what they call hell, okay? So there are three kind of deaths, right? We have defeat the death of the physical body. We have the second death, which is this one. That's why I'm talking to you guys about it. And the psychological death. Then we'll talk about that one a little later. Okay. So, moving on to the second death. The person doesn't have more lives. He doesn't deserve an extra life. So, he or she must go to the infra dimensions. Okay. The person will stay there, cleaning his soul, and then the person will return again many years later and be back to this process of 108 lives, living and dying again. Okay. So from here, after they have already established what's going to be the person's next life, what they're going to do is that they're going to call the angel of death. Yeah, this guy. And only this guy can come and cut that silver cord. Okay? So nobody else cuts that silver cord. That's why we shouldn't be afraid of astral travel, because it's just a myth. Many people are scared to practice it because they think that maybe they're going to die, that maybe a spirit is going to come into their body, or they just won't come back and they will stay in the limbo. I mean, none of that is true. Okay? We will always go consciously, come back consciously. Every day at night, people unconsciously go and have an unfoldment. Okay? Here, on the next conference, actually, we will see astral travel. Okay? How the practice is done, talk everything about it. Okay? So, the angel of death will come and he's going to cut the silver cord. As soon as he cuts the silver cord, then officially in the spiritual world, the person is dead. Okay? But before he comes and cuts this, he's going to go to this person's divine mother and he's going to ask her for permission. He's going to go tell her, well, about your son, they decided that his next personality is going to be this one, and they decided to cut his silver cord because he won't come back to life. Let's say that she says, well, I don't agree, because I know that if he goes back, he's going to change, or he has to go back because his brother really needs him, and later on he's really going to help out his brother. He's going to make him change thanks to him, and thinking that he's dying, he's going to really change if he comes back to life. So the person will return to life. That's what happens when we say, like, oh my God, he was dead, but he came back to life. It's because the Divine Mother decided that the person should come back. Okay? Well, let's say that this time she says, yeah, okay, I agree with the trial, so yeah, I mean, everything is okay. Then he's going to have another 24 hours. So in that trial, remember, it was in 48 hours. He's going to have 24 hours after this to come and cut it. Okay, that's why we talk about that the death process is 72 hours. So after he comes and cuts it, definitely, physically dead. Okay, that's why, as I said at the beginning, many years ago, people used to wait 3 days waiting to see if the person would come back. After those 3 days, if the person didn't come back, then you could bury them. Okay. If you guys are watching and if you have any questions, you could just write them right under. Okay. And then we have the third one. We have the psychological death. just give me a minute and let me erase the board. And we'll talk about the psychological death. It's always harder when you write with a bread. It erases a little bit hard, but okay, there we go. So, psychological death. Inside, we have many ways of being, okay? It's like there are thousands of us inside our mind. I mean, here outside, we're only one, but in our mind, we have thousands of people there talking and telling us, oh, I want this, I want that, oh, let's go out. And the other one says, no, it's cold, I don't want to go out. The other one says, I want to go out later. Oh, why don't you call your friends? Or, oh, let's check if this guy I like is there on Facebook, and let's see if he sees that I'm here and he asks me out. So we have all of these bunch of people in our mind. So what we need to do is to eliminate these ideas that we have in our mind, okay? Each of those eyes that are giving us instructions and are telling us do this, do that, because they're not really letting us be ourselves, okay? So, for example, we go out and we see someone we like. So right away, we have an eye inside us that says, oh my God, I'm in love. Yeah. Then the other eye is going to say, like, oh my God, you know, he or she is hot. And then the other eye is there craving for sex. And says, yes, you know, I want him or her. And the other one says, you know, ask him or her out. Okay, then the other one is the other eye inside us is worrying about money. Oh no, but I don't have enough money. And then the other one is worrying about clothing. What am I going to wear? Then the other one here is thinking about going to a restaurant. Oh, let's go to that nice restaurant. And the other one says, oh no, let's go see the latest movie. The other one is there like, oh, come on, don't be boring. I mean, let's go dancing. You know, I want to be close to that person. So each one of us inside our mind is making a different plan, okay? And guess what happened? The person left. Yep. I mean, we had all of these ideas while we saw the person, and in an instant, because we were there listening to them, we're like, oh my God, but the person left. And then another eye is going to come out there, let's say crying inside our mind, telling us, you know what, you didn't even get that person's number. Oh, you didn't even get his or her name. And then the other eye is going to tell us, oh my God, you're so stupid. Damn, you're slow. So there you go. We have like all of these million people inside us telling us things to do, what to do. And we just keep doing what they tell us to. But at the end, that's not what we wanted, okay? At the end, the person left, we didn't even get to know that person, okay? So that's the psychological death. First is to observe ourselves. What do I mean to observe ourselves? To observe our mind, our thoughts, okay? For example, all of these thoughts, right? So I start observing those, observing my mind, and what all of those thoughts want. And I ask my Divine Mother to heal that thought, okay? Why kill that thought? Because that ain't me, okay? Definitely, if we could connect to ourselves, to our conscious, we would be much more respectful than thinking about a person. And I know this may sound like boring, like honey, I mean, you're way back on time. This is not life anymore. But our real soul, our real conscious is respectful, okay? Is respectful with everybody, and he sees everyone with respect. And all of these eyes that we have inside us, they don't let us be respectful, okay? We just do what they want to do, okay? So they wouldn't be seeing the person. We shouldn't be seeing the person only for sex, okay? So I asked my Divine Mother to kill that thought that is worried about what to wear, where to take the person, if go to the movies or go dancing. I wouldn't be worrying about money yet, that could come later on. And why keep wasting energy on something that already happened? The person went away, you lost your opportunity. Why did you lose that chance? Because you were paying attention to these. If you weren't paying attention to these, your conscious would have told you like what to tell that person, or would have gave you the feeling that, you know, that person is not for you. It's really not what you think, and you would be like, no, forget it. And I wouldn't be wasting my energy on this the rest of the time, because okay, after this happens, this stays in my mind, right? Right after that, I start thinking about this. But not being enough, later on, I find a friend and I tell that friend, oh, imagine I was at the mall and I found this great person. Oh, you should have seen that person. And guess what? I didn't even get time to get that person's phone number. I didn't know what he was or she was called. I was so dumb. And then 3 days later, maybe your brother comes back from vacation and you tell him the same story. And guess what? Like 5 years later, when you're at the university, the same thing happened to another friend. And then you tell him, oh, you know what? The same thing happened to me. I was at the mall and this and that, and you're still wasting your time, your energy on this, okay? So definitely, I mean, is it fair for us to waste our energy in something that it's not worth it? No. So what happens? That we keep giving these eyes energy, we keep feeding them. That's why we don't change, okay? That's why every day we become even worse. We worry more about money, we worry more about our clothes, we want to go to other places, it's never enough, so you want more and more and more with everyone else because it's never satisfying. Because these dudes keep on asking for more. Why do they keep asking for more? Because you keep giving them energy, okay? So that's why we ask our Divine Mother to kill that thought as soon as it comes to our mind. So as soon as any thought comes to our mind, immediately we identify it. Oh, that's anger. Mother of mine, Divine Mother, kill that anger. I'm going to feel much better immediately. Doesn't mean that it's going to go away, that I'm going to be a nice, friendly person after that. No. Another time will come and you will feel angry again. But we keep doing it. I keep taking energy away from that thought, from that way of being, okay? Now, let's say that I definitely want to kill that way of being. I mean, I just want that way of being to stop. I don't like it anymore. I mean, that's it. I've had it, okay? Then you have to study oneself. What do you mean by studying oneself? Study your way of being. How often does it happen again and again? I mean, how many times do I keep on doing the same thing? How many times do I just keep getting upset? How many times do I just keep crying about the same thing over and again? Okay, maybe it was in a different situation, but again, I come back to the same points. How many times have we had different dates, different boyfriends or girlfriends, and at the end, everything just finishes that same way? Then that's why we have to study ourselves, okay? So I'm almost finished, don't worry. So what happens? Let's just put it this way so you can understand the way of definitely peeling away of being, okay? So let's say that this person is the physical body, you know? So let's say we'll call him me, okay? Because that's how we call ourselves. Oh, me, or you're calling me, okay? So let's call me this physical body, and these dudes are the ones who are inside us, okay? So he goes out with the person, okay? At the beginning, it is a great relationship. Why is it a great relationship? Because at the beginning, we lie, okay? We don't show ourselves the way we are. This is like marketing, you know, we sell a person what they want to see, what they want to hear. For example, you meet someone who loves sports, but you don't do nothing, okay? You don't like going to the gym, you don't like riding a bicycle, you don't like waking up early. I mean, you like nothing about that, but since that person likes it, all of a sudden you decide you're gonna start running. Why? Because I want to impress that person. Then I know that that person likes to go out, okay? So the person likes to be going on trips, skiing, swimming, dancing. I mean, the person is like unstoppable, but you're a couch potato. You want to be home, sleeping, watching TV, listening to music. You just want to be on WhatsApp and Facebook all day, okay? That's just your life. But since that person likes all of that, and the person is, you know, you already notice that, well, I know that person likes me. So you know you have a chance. So you say, well, you're going to start going out. And hey, that's great. You're going to start going out. But what's going to happen? After a while, that's going to become boring. Why? Because it's definitely not you. You're just showing someone that you're not, okay? So that's going to make it that, let's say 2 years later, you're already living together. And now you're showing yourself. So when the person says, oh honey, since this weekend we don't have to work, well, why don't we go camping? Oh, that's great. You know, we could go fishing and we could go hike up that mountain. But, I mean, definitely you're tired of doing all of that. So, you begin to show yourself. So, definitely, I mean, you get upset and you're really disturbed. Like, that's it. I mean, I don't want to do that. I want to stay home. Well, the other person obviously is going to be like, I want to stay home. I mean, don't be boring. What are you talking about? Then, after a while, I mean, both notice that they both lied. Because obviously it's not only one side. I mean, both showed the best mask, but during the time, these masks begin to fall and you really begin to show how you are, okay? So, at the end, this person is thinking, what did I do? Okay, yeah. That's why relationships finish. Because at the end, you notice that, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it. I mean, that's it. I don't want this anymore. Okay? And you start thinking, oh my God, what did I do? When did I have that idea? idea. I mean, why did I have to go live with this person? We could have just been friends. We could just be, you know, we could have just had some great nights and that was about it. So that's why the relationships finishes. Being that not enough, after that relation finishes, guess what? You're going to start again another great relationship, lying to yourself and to that other person and going through the same things, okay? And that's why, because we're not ourselves. Why are we not ourselves? Because we don't accept ourselves. Why don't we accept ourselves? Because we don't know ourselves. If we knew ourselves, we wouldn't be doing this, okay? And maybe you're right now thinking like, oh, but I know myself. Well, maybe you think you know yourself, but when we start studying ourselves, we'll find things that we didn't know about ourselves, okay? So, how we're going to study oneself? We're going to start by doing what we already did and start asking ourselves questions. Why did I lie at the beginning? Okay, that's because I wanted to get hooked on our relationship, because I was looking for company, because that person looked great, because it's like TV shows you that it had everything that the person should have, okay? It's somebody that I felt proud of going out with, and everybody would be like, oh my God, you're going out with that person, wow. And that made you feel like so wow, okay? So you just make a list there, okay? Then make a list of all of those boring things that you find and why did you do them? And make a list of all those things that made you upset. Why did they make me upset? Because it was about time, because obviously I lied, because it's about money. I'm gonna go waste money on going hiking and camping and all of those kind of things that I really find boring. So there you go, you found different things, okay? And then why do I regret it, okay? Why do I regret it? I mean, whatever happened to love? Did I ever really love that person? Well, no, I didn't, okay? I loved myself more. There you know, I learned something about myself is that, yes, I'm a selfish person and we don't like to accept those bad things, okay? So you find out that definitely, yes, you know what? I'm selfish. I don't know how to love. I break people's heart. I'm there just to have fun with them, but when it becomes boring, I get upset, and this is what did I do? And I just want to get over with it. But then I start again, because I keep feeding all of those things, then I found out about me. So there you go. I have more information about it, okay? So that's how I'm going to start studying those different eyes. When I fully comprehend one of those ways of being, and I keep asking my Divine Mother to kill the way of being, then that's when that way of being is going to die. But it's when I have fully comprehended it in different situations, okay? That I already seen, you know what, I act that way at work, at the university, at home, when I'm alone. So you just keep seeing it through different sides, and there you go. So what's so good about this, and what does this have to do with the title about death? Means that I kill that way of being. So guess what? Since I killed that way of being, when I physically die, and if I have to go to hell, I don't have to pay for that way of being, because now I don't owe karma because I changed. I became a better person. And each time I keep learning more about myself and all of those different ways of being, I'm going to have less karma. And if I have less karma, it's because I am more conscious. I'm a more conscious person. That means that if I am in life 108, I deserve life 109 because I'm becoming a much better person. Okay, I am waking my conscious. Okay, and nobody can do that for you, only ourselves. Okay, only me. Nobody can awaken for me. Okay, and to help others, I must help myself first to be able to help the rest. So the title was, what is death? Okay, we already spoke about what is death. What dies? So what dies? Our physical body dies. Okay, and our vital body. In another conference later on, we'll talk about the 7 bodies that we have, okay, our inner bodies. But the physical body dies, the vital body dies, and the personality. What makes us so ourselves, okay? For example, Michael Jackson has his own very own personality. If he comes back to life and we see a teenager dancing and singing like him, and all of a sudden he says, oh, it's because I'm Michael Jackson, who's going to believe him? Okay? So that personality also dies. Okay? What doesn't die? And that's really important because of what we just spoke. What doesn't die? The eyes. What are the eyes? The ways of being. They return during those 108 lives you have. So let's say that the person is in life 104. Well, he didn't work in his psychology, so all of this way of being is going to come back in life 105. And since I didn't work on myself, I'm just going to keep on getting worse and worse. Okay? That's why sometimes we see like a little kid and we're like, oh my God, but he's so little and he's already telling those kind of lies and he's already stealing. It's because he kept doing that from those lies and he kept feeding them. So he just becomes worse and worse. Okay? That's why it's so important to kill these ways of beings. Okay? So when we come to the next life, that conscious that we have doesn't die, is going to come with us. That's why we meet people and we say like, wow, I mean, that person is so wise. I mean, he has so much, I can't even find the word, but he's really, really smart, and he just says some things that you're like, wow, he leaves you like a deep message. It's because the person worked in his psychology before, and he comes more awakened than other people. He is more conscious, okay? But it's a complete task that we have to do to become 100% conscious. And during these 50 conferences, we'll be talking about it and seeing what these whole tasks are about. So that is what doesn't die, but they don't die for those 108 lives. After that 108 lives, or when in the trial they say, you know, okay, that's it, no more, you're going to the infra dimensions, that's where they die. So the less eyes that we have, the less time we're going to be there. Okay? And if we have woken our 100% of conscious, well, guess what? If I die, I'm not going to go to the infra dimensions because there's nothing there, there's no reason for you to be there. Okay, so I mean, that's like the best about these conferences. I mean, give you and talk to you, I mean, completely transparent, okay, completely clear. And if you have any questions, just write them there and I'll be answering you guys, okay? So this is what dies. What doesn't die are the eyes for 108 lives, and definitely what is immortal is our essence, okay, our being. that conscience that we have. Okay, so we come here with 3% of that conscience. Okay, if a person doesn't work in himself, well, that 3% of conscience that he came with, he's going, when he dies, after those 108 lives, and he goes to the infra dimensions, well, this 3% is going to stay always alive. And it's going to wait for what? For that 97% that are all of these defects, for them to be cleaned in the infra dimensions, because that's what they are for. Later on, we'll be talking about those infra dimensions. I mean, what are we judged for? How did we get karma? Why do we get karma for that? Okay, so this is the conference about death. Okay, how the trial is, what dies, how can we kill those way of beings so that we don't have to go to the infra dimensions, and what is eternal, that is our essence. Okay, thank you guys so much if you stayed until now watching this video. Thank you very much. See you soon.